Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, Think Outside the Board, and our second crowdfunding roundup for December 2023. In this week's video, I'm going to recommend everything that I think is worth your time, your money, taking a look at, possibly pledging, for the period December 6th through the 12th. Now, we're getting into the holiday season, and a lot of publishers don't want to be stuck running campaigns in the middle of the holiday season. And I'll talk about this more at the end of the video, but it's probably, I was going to say possible, probably even likely that there will be some weeks over the next 3 or 4 weeks where there won't be any campaigns for me to share with you, where there won't be anything launched that I think is worthy of your taking a look at or backing. And if that happens, then I just won't put out a video that week, but I'll talk more about that after we talk about the Battle of Versailles. The Battle of Versailles was launched on Gamefound on December the 7th, and they had a funding goal of $6,500. They're currently at $11,000, so they're funded. They're at about 2 times their funding goal, and this is going to happen. If we kind of click here and flip over this card, it shows us that this campaign will run until January the 3rd. So if this is something that you want to back and money is a little tight through the holidays, you could possibly jump in on this after Christmas, after New Year's. But remember that it exists because the campaign will end January 3rd at 7 a.m. Pacific time. So don't sleep too long on this. Okay, so the Battle of Versailles, thematically, is about a fashion show that took place in France in 1973. And it was a battle between 5 French designers and 5 American designers who were invited there to compete with them. The French team included Pierre Cardin and Christian Dior. The American team included Anne Klein, Oscar de la Renta, and Halston. And if you happen to see the Ewan McGregor miniseries Halston, which came out in 2021, that was all about the fashion designer Halston, and the Battle of Versailles took up a big chunk of that movie. So if you've seen that, or I should say not movie, but miniseries, and if you've seen that miniseries, you probably have a pretty good idea of what this was all about. Now, this game is a 2-player head-to-head game, so you're going to have 1 player playing the French designers and 1 player playing the American designers, and it's very much in the vein of games like Twilight Struggle, 1960, The Making of a President, and Watergate. It's got 2 co-designers, Eloy Pujares, who's also worked on Shikoku, Take a Seat, and Troya. And Take a Seat is a 1 to 6 player flip and write game that is also offered as a part of this campaign. So Eloy and another designer named Ferran Renales co-designed both of these games. Ferran has also worked on 1998 ISS, Lacrimosa, which I think most gamers have probably heard of. That was a big game this past year from Devere, and a game about Darwin called On the Origin of Species. The artist on this is Malin Company. This is her first published game, and it's being published by Salt and Pepper Games, who are probably best known for The Hunt, Resist with an exclamation point after it, and Witchcraft with an exclamation point after it. And Witchcraft is actually a redesign, a retheming of Resist to make it a little less wargamey and a little bit more thematic around witches. Now, unfortunately, there are a couple of videos here on this page. The link to this page is down below in the description section of the video, so if you want to go and check it out yourself, just click on that link. There are 2 longer videos here down deep in this page, but they're like 15-minute videos that show the longer teaches of the game, various aspects of the game and its components, offer some thoughts on the game, but it's just too long a video, either of them, to include within this video. So if you want to kind of see more about the game, definitely click on that link, go over to the Battle of Versailles page and check it out. You could also go to the Battle of Versailles listing on Board Game Geek and over here, and there will be some videos down here that you can watch as well in the videos section, including one from Thinker Themer, who are pretty well liked. So maybe you want to see what they thought about it. There are 2 different pledges that you might want to consider if you're not a retailer and if you're not doing a group pledge. The first of these is for the game itself, the Battle of Versailles, and this is a very simple campaign in that there are no upgrades, there's no deluxe pledges. You're just either going to back this game or you're not. And if you are, it's a $28 pledge, and if you're in the continental US, you're going to have about $15 in shipping. So all said and done, it's going to be a $43 pledge. If you decide to pledge the other pledge that's available, which is the Battle of Versailles plus Take a Seat, and this includes that other game that I was mentioning from the same co-designers, that is a flip and write for 1 to 6 players, your pledge is $50. And we're going to say it's still a $15 shipping estimate because they didn't give a different shipping estimate for this pledge, which means that if you're in the continental US, this is going to be about $65, but be prepared that the shipping could be a couple dollars more. It's possible. And then finally, this campaign is going to deliver in January 2024, which means it has to have already been produced and kind of sitting there waiting in warehouses to be distributed. Otherwise, there's no way that they could make this delivery date. But there you have it, the single campaign of this week, and it's for a campaign, 2-player card game, head-to-head, about this fashion show that is set to deliver in January 2024. Now, at the end of my videos, I like to talk about the games that are new to my collection during that period because I am soon to be launching my revamped teach and review videos with better equipment. It's going to look better than my videos of the past, and I'm also going to start live streaming games. And so a lot of these are Kickstarters that were just delivered or games that are newly printed, newly published, just hit retail. So this is kind of me listing off games as an opportunity for you to let me know in the comment section below if any of these are games you'd like to see me do a teach and review video for or live stream. There's a pretty big list today. So first up is Bruel 1893 Belle Epoque, which is a combined edition that takes the original base game and its expansion, Belle Epoque, and puts them together. So this is a new printing this year, and it's something that I've just gotten into my collection. Along with that retail shipment was Ticket to Ride Legacy Legends of the Old West, and that is a game that is earmarked for me to play with some other friends in a setting that probably won't be my studio, which means that is the one game that I probably won't be able to live stream. But I will be able to talk to you about it as I'm playing it and let you know what I think about the game in general. And I'll plan on doing that in 2024 once we start playing it. The other deliveries include the City of Kings, which is a refreshed edition from the City of Games and Frank West, who is the designer and publisher for the Isle of Cats, which is a game that I really love. And I was aware that the City of Kings existed. It's one of his first games. It's sort of I don't want to say it's a dungeon crawler, but it's an exploration game. You can play it with multiple players, but I've heard it's at its best as a solo experience. So it's something I was thinking I might do some solo videos live streaming in 2024. Let me know if that's something you'd like to see. I also got in Wave 2 for Chronicles of Drunagor Age of Darkness. I now have everything for that. That is a huge dungeon crawler, and it's something that I would like to live stream in 2024. I also got an Earthborn Rangers, which is sort of an open world game. And I played Lands of Gelzir this year. I didn't really like it because the way that they've designed that game is so that anyone can come in, drop in or out at any time, and the world is constantly kind of refreshing itself, which means that nothing you do really has impact on the world. Some things you do will change it, but changing it means that certain cards come out or go back in, and those things can cycle back. So I like the way that Lands of Gelzir was designed for ease of play and to be able to easily teach it to someone and have people just engage with this world. but it feels like none of the choices have any impact or relevance at all. So it's a game that I'm selling off, but I'm very much looking forward to both Earthborn Rangers and Mythwind, which is a game that's going to be delivering either later this month or next month. And both of those games are big open world games that the journey is kind of determined by player choice. So I'm curious to see if those are more successful in their genre than I thought Lands of Gelzir was. And Earthborn Rangers is definitely something I would like to live stream. I also got in Final Girl North Pole Nightmare, which is the one-off that the publisher of Final Girl, Van Ryder Games, decided to do just for the holidays. It's kind of Santa-themed, and it was just an extra. It didn't come with Final Girl Season 3. It came on its own, and I'd love to live stream that. I think Final Girl in general is something I'll probably be doing a lot of solo live streaming in 2024. I also got in the Grand Carnival expansion and reprint. That was a new crowdfunding campaign done for the expansion, and since I don't have the base game, but I've heard really good things about it, I decided to go all in and get everything. So that's something I could certainly do a teach and review video for. I also got in Sleeping Gods Distant Skies, and Sleeping Gods is one of my favorite games of all time. I think my number one game the year that it published, and probably my favorite exploration game of all time. I don't know if you can call it a dungeon crawler, but I would throw it in there as a dungeon crawler. So it's definitely the top of my list, and I've played a bunch of it with my wife, but we haven't played it in a long time. And with the arrival of the new expansion content, I think I'd just like to reset it, start over, and live stream the whole thing in 2024. Let me know if that's something that you'd like to see. Now, as far as games that I know that will be featured in next week's video, there are none. There is one game that has been launched that I'm considering, which is called Thief England, and it's on Gamefound. If I take a deeper look at that game and decide that it's something that I don't want to include after all, and nothing else is launched through next Tuesday, then I just won't do a video next week. And it is very likely, because a lot of publishers probably aren't too hot to run campaigns during the holiday season when they're already dealing with the holidays themselves as individuals and families, it's very likely that there will be weeks over the next 3 or 4 weeks where there won't be any campaigns that I want to share with you. And if that happens, I just won't put out a video that week, and any games that are new to my collection will be featured and talked about in the following week's video. Or if there are multiple weeks, then, whenever I come back. I'm not trying to not produce a video, but I'm also not going to put videos out there unless there are campaigns that I want to pass along to you. If that happens, just check back the following week. Eventually there will be more videos launching again. And if there is a gap, it's probably more advantageous to the future types of content I have planned, the revamped teach and reviews and the live streaming, that will get launched even sooner. Because not having to put out, these videos for a couple of weeks will give me a lot more time to do behind the scenes work and get those new types of content launched sooner. So if there is no video for the next couple weeks, that could actually be a good thing. The best way to support this channel at this point in time is still to like and subscribe, and subscribing will keep you looped in so that you'll get notifications when I do launch more videos and when I do launch those future types of content. And then at some point in 2024, once we're on the other side of those launches, I'll probably also launch a Patreon so the people who want to throw a little financial support to the channel can do that if they want to. But until then, just like and subscribe and check back every week over the next few weeks to see if and when more videos do get published. In the meantime, happy holidays, play lots of great games, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.